Ancient monuments, precisely aligned to celestial events. History written in stone, honoring otherworldly rulers. And a calendar accurately predicting shifts in the Earth's axis every 26,000 years. Did the Maya of Central America really create one of the most advanced civilizations of ancient times? Or did their intelligence originate from somewhere else? Perhaps out of this world.
They didn't have metal, they didn't have electricity. What they did have is advanced mythology, advanced language, and advanced religious culture.
They understood astronomy to an incredible degree, more so than any of the societies at the time.
The Mayans were absolutely convinced that timing was crucial because the gods were going to come back.
Lord Pakal's sarcophagus was his spaceship. He's the original rocket man.
Okay, they had rockets, but they didn't have electricity. How the hell are you going to have a rocket flying into outer space if you don't know the basic principle of electricity and current travel? You got to know how to use current travel to ignite the explosion devices on the rocket to make it take off. All that's done by electronics. So that means if these people were flying, the Mayans, Aztecs, whatever you want to call them, I already know who they were. They were the federation of people who, just like Morris Donaldson said, they had their spacecrafts sitting on the face of the earth until they knew that there was foul play people coming, and then they moved everything into the inner earth. We already know that. So I'm glad that they did this because I've watched a little bit of it and it makes a lot of good. A lot of it is true. But I want to point out the fact that he said that these people didn't have any electricity, okay? No knowledge of electricity, but they're flying spaceships. That doesn't make sense. Think about it. Now, that means if you're flying space vessels, you have knowledge of electricity, okay? You're building all this type of
Ancient
shit.
monuments.
If you're smart enough to build all this, you know mathematics too. He say they had none of it, no math, no electricity. In other words, he's trying to make them be some people who did not build this. They want aliens to come from outer space and have built this. But the thing about it is that our whole existence here on Earth started here on Earth from people who knew about Earth, designed the Earth, mastered genetics, who not only orchestrated a way for the Earth to come into existence, genetically fabricated all life on the Earth, is what I'm seeing. I don't want to buy into these scientific theories that the Earth just happened. You know, I see everything as having a spiritual creator, and the spiritual creator being electrical energy that is wise enough to use all available aggregates to create not only planets but inhabitants for the planet, to create water and inhabitants for the water. This is what I see our universe being comprised of. Once all these things are created by our supreme creator, everything it creates is induced and conduced after its own kind, which means that everything created by the creator has the same ability at greatness as the creator does. You understand? That's the reason why these buildings had to have electricity in them, because the creator is electricity. The Europeans lie so they can steal the greatest accomplishments of everyone else for themselves. These people built all these temples. I guarantee you they had electricity in these temples. Electricity was conduced by the gold tops they had. The sunlight was striking the gold metal, sending subtle currents that they were amplifying to supply these buildings with sunlight generated into electricity. Subtle but sufficient. Okay, now that's the most abundant way of getting electricity is just like what was it? Benjamin Franklin, I think, that flew the kite and put a key on it and had this lightning strike the kite and bring electric current to the earth to prove to you that you can use a certain metal as a conductive for electricity. That means that electricity is universal. It's already in the universe, and the electromagnetism spectrum of sun rays can be turned into the same electricity that I'm talking about. And these people knew that. They also knew that you could transfer it into water and use water as a conductor as long as you was able to contain the water where none of the heat would be lost. It was complicated, but I'm sure they did it. I just can't explain how they did it, but I know they did. I read a book about them having aquifers and things like, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but these things always generated electricity by movement and turning generator armatures, and the Egyptians knew about that a long time ago, except that generator armatures weren't mechanical. They were generated by metallic gold and things like that, generating heat from the heat, and also sunlight, solar energy converted, as well as river flow underground were pushing the electrical currents through the building also. So they were very, very wise way back in the day, and all this knowledge needs to be expressed. We can't let the Europeans keep us all locked down by not coming 100% truthful. You have to know serious math and serious science to build these structures right here that are still around even to this day, which shows you the brilliance of these people. All the layouts of Washington, D.C. you can see right here. So you know who built Washington, D.C. was us melanated people. We all know that. We were building these structures by the time the white man came on the earth, which means that he can't take credit for anything. And I'm not saying this to be mean, all right? I'm saying this because someone has lied about who brought all this knowledge to the earth. And I'm trying to set the record straight and let everyone know. No, see, don't look at me as if I'm a deadbeat nothing. You look at yourself and know all the crimes you committed to be true, and know that I have been victimized by you because you stole this knowledge from me, and now you have created circumstances of failure for me because you want to stay in the seat of the person that brought this knowledge to the earth, which means that you have to kill me to cover up the truth. And that's what you have been doing. And it's not going to work. The Federation is here to kill you guys off the earth for those crimes that you have committed and the lies you have told.
Precisely aligned to celestial events. History.
Celestial events, what he means is correctly aligned through solar placements in the sky. See, movement of celestial bodies, the stars and stuff like that. That's what he means. For those of you who don't understand that. He means that these people were so wise, they were lining these buildings up to make sure. And see, let me show you what I'm talking about. I want to show you something.
Written in stone, honoring otherworldly rulers.
Let me show you something real quick. See how flat that is? If you notice, all these buildings right here where the people disappeared and they can't tell you why the people disappeared, they don't know. They just come here and found these things empty. That's a lie. They came here and found these things well inhabited by people. The people had gold, is what it was. And they were very warm, friendly people outside of what he tells you about them being headhunters and all that. That's not true. You know the demeanor of us all over the planet. If we were the mean, bloodthirsty headhunters they claim we were, how the hell did they take over so well? They took advantage of our general natures because we were sun-like people, and sun gave us everything we needed, and we didn't overhunt the land or anything. A lot of us weren't even meat eaters. But what I'm saying is, as you can see this come down right there, there should have been something here to meet that, because as you can see, everything is synonymous with the pyramids. So this would have been obelisk, the male phallus, with, of course, the female uteruses inside of them. You can see that, okay? So this was the phallus and the female all together on all directions. See, on all four sides, I bet you they put that female cavity there. And right on the top, I guarantee you, they had some gold to taper it off to a point where the point could come down and meet it, like I've been showing you forever, and it would have made that X. Someone jacked the gold. Now watch this. I'm going to show you. Here goes the same thing again.
Ancient monuments.
See? Same thing again. They always come up like that to the point. You can see the female there. There was something up there. They got jacked. They never would have left that incomplete like that. Something got jacked from up there, trust me. And you can see this is all African, ancient Africa. They done left Africa, rode over here on these boats, and came over here and started doing the same work here in the Americas. And so I say this to you Mexican people out there, to let you know that you have been victimized by the Europeans as well. And I'm not saying this to the Europeans to make you all feel bad or to stir up any unnecessary dissension between us that's already here. I want you all to know why the dissension is here and why everything is so cutthroat and people so untrustful of each other. It's because the people of Europe, the Spaniards, as well as the people of London, England, as well as the people of the Vatican, which is Rome, Italy, all three of those places got together and they decided that they were going to go around the world and enslave all the black people all over the planet. What they did is they came up with their false ass religion. They had learned a lot of stuff from the black Moors as well as the Africans in Africa. They used all the knowledge that we taught them of how to be divine and how to share and how to set up an existence for everyone to do well on the planet. They reversed all that information and decided they were going to go around the world and enslave everyone and steal all the bounties of the world and keep it for themselves. And what they did is they knew that we were all people who knew that the spirit of the universe lived in everything, and they saw how we paid homage to God and we walked with our left foot forward to be as divine as possible, even though some of us were not like that. This is what they did. They went and brainwashed the ones that was easily brainwashable. Those are the ones who didn't want to stay with the placid normality of being godlike. They were the ones who wanted to get out there and be barbaric and booty banging and drinking alcohol and smoking tobacco and eating meat and all the stuff that we find easy permission to do amongst the Europeans. They grabbed that sector of people and messed with them, started breeding with them, creating armies of infidels and Semites. And these armies of infidels and Semites, they later started calling the Genghis Khans and all that bullshit and Christian crusades and all that. But all they really were white men who organized themselves with other black men helping them, created Semites, mixture of black and white, to go all around the world. They came into the Americas and found the black Africans who had left Africa and came here and started building. The reason why you have different slope manufacturers and different placements and everything like that is because of the different placement on the globe. So of course they making the designs a little bit different because of what these things are designed to be. They are mood enhancers, they are acoustic instruments, they are all type of things that we could not ever try to imagine all the multi-different functions that these things were capable of doing, because they were built with sunlight intelligence. And people that have sunlight intelligence always can make things be multidimensional as well as multitaskful in the event of correcting anything or erecting anything. That's just how we get down as sun-induced people. So now all of this civilization been on the earth forever. All of this ruins now. They don't want you to know that they came here and murdered all the people that was here and raped all of the women and taught them all how to be good Catholics. Okay, so all you Spanish ladies running around and you Spanish men running around out here, I want you to know your true existence on this earth is melanated people that has been, your skin complexion has been tampered with, and you have been lightened up by the European males who raped your women over and over for 500-600 years since they came to these lands and conquered us and murdered us. Took some of us and gave us brainwash therapy over here to make us see ourselves as dichotomized from each other. But you can see the building structures show us all our unique oneness with each other, and we have to wake up and stop letting the white man fool us into looking at each other as something that we should be separate and argumentative and non-supporting of one another. You know, I see these Spanish women as well as white women, and not many black women in this town, but what I'm getting at is that the women are really generous, and they can, when I talk my problems to the world on YouTube and everything, I'm not embarrassed to do that, because I know that I live in a world that if it was not for the powers that be, people would help me. They would not be afraid to show their concern about everyone on the planet doing well.